Remembering Queen Elizabeth II and her record on LGBTQ plus rights. Queen Elizabeth II passed away on Thursday and her health started declining rapidly. She was immediately transported to Balmoral Castle in the Scottish Highlands. All the members of the royal family, including Prince Charles, his wife Camilla, Prince Andrew, Prince William, Prince Edward, and Princess Anne, arrived at Balmoral before the Queen passed. She was 96 at the time of her death. She was the longest reigning monarch in the British history, who held the throne for 70 years. Throughout her reign, she oversaw a breadth of political and cultural progress for LGBTQ plus Britons. Right from the legalization of homosexuality to same-sex marriage to the passage of anti-discrimination laws, she passed many favorable laws for the LGBTQ plus community. Queen Elizabeth II was in favor of political neutrality. She gave royal assent to many historic pieces of LGBTQ plus legislation. Last May, the Queen said that banning so-called conversion therapy is a priority for the UK government. Some LGBTQ plus advocates have praised this announcement. However, as it stands, the existing conversion therapy ban does not cover protections for trans people. I've been watching the proceedings and today, particularly in Edinburgh, Scotland, and I feel very sorry for her death. Obviously, I admire her like many people. I feel sorry for all my British friends, you know, she deserves the praise. Obviously, I'm not in favor of the monarchy, but that doesn't take away from my admiration of somebody like her and how she devoted her life to the British people. So I do feel sorry for her passing. So
it's weird how affected we were.
Yeah.
At least for me. You know what I mean? Like it's weird that I was affected because I mean she was the only queen that I've ever known, that all of us have ever known, right? So let's think about that, you know. But she's not our queen. You know?
Not my queen.
Tino knows a lot of queens.
I know many. I'm looking at you.
Hey, porcelain.
Hey, porcelain.
Madonna is Elle's queen.
Yeah.
We already had this discussion.
Right.
But she lived 96 years.
Do y'all love the queen?
No.
Love her. I've never hung out with her, but from what I've seen, that's one thing I think is so cool about media and the arts, Hollywood and film and TV, is being able to see into the story of her life a little bit more. And I know it's kind of dramatized up and whatnot, but my husband is a huge fan of the Queen.
Of The Crown? Did he see The Crown? My wife too. Yeah.
So I saw bits and pieces of it, and it shows you. I mean, in 70 years, you're going to get stuff wrong. That's just a fact. But in 70 years, I think she got a lot of stuff right too. And her advocacy on behalf of the LGBTQ community, and especially this conversion therapy issue, that was big. That was a huge issue over there. And it still is. And that, to your point before, that impacts children and youth and young people so much more than grown adults dealing with, like, trying to figure out how to find their place in life. Conversion therapy is detrimental so drastically on the mind, psyche, and heart of young people. And so I'm grateful to her for those things that I see that are good.
Do you guys think that now, because of, I mean, everybody's, you know, feeling sorry for her passing and all that, with all reasons, I'm assuming, but now that King Charles is coming along, people are going to feel the same about the monarchy, or that because you're starting to see things, especially in the Caribbean and the effects of colonization and the black population in the Caribbean saying we don't want this anymore. And I could understand, you know, Barbados just said it, you know, Jamaica.
And they were waiting for the Queen to
That's right.
Yeah.
India just said it.
India.
There is a very significant voice this week of going, well, we respect the
That's
Queen,
right.
what she represented, but let us talk about what she did in India.
That's right.
And what colonization and colonial decision-making from the British Empire did in large swaths of the world. You know, for me, it's interesting. I just think the whole thing, I'm not overly affected one way or the other. I respect the longevity. I respect the title that she has. I think the UK would be crazy to get rid of their monarchy because they're no longer a superpower in the world. They're not the colonial power that they were. The monarchy kind of sets them in place of saying, but we're still a very special place. And they are because of that. But it's interesting to me that, you know, they've had this plan for what they're doing for the funeral, etc., for 24
London
years.
Bridge is down.
London Bridge is down.
London Bridge is down.
The reason I ask you if you're a Queen person is because I made a joke about, you know, don't worry, London Bridge is down. I said, London has fallen. Do you remember the movie?
Yeah.
Because it was this story.
Yeah.
And all the world leaders coming and the terrorist attack. There were a lot of people that did not think that was funny as a joke. And it's like, and I made the point, don't worry, Britain, because we got Gerard Butler and he's on his way. A lot of people didn't think that was funny. Too soon.
It's way too soon. Listen, my brother lives
I like that movie.
My brother lives in London, and he tells me that the radio stations are all playing somber music. And there's signs everywhere. That
They've
there's
changed
parties.
the signs,
that like everything is like very. But I'm enjoying the memes. I'm enjoying all the memes, and I'm sorry, all the memes are incredible.
You must tune into It's Happening on Wednesday because our story talking about the Queen is totally focused on
it's going to be
memes that are going
great.
on all over the world. They are just
awesome, and awesome. And I can't say King Charles without thinking about a dog. There.
No, and I do think that a lot of people, if you ask a lot of people in London or in England, they probably have the same, somber feelings right now. But I don't know if the Scottish or the people in Northern Ireland are feeling the same way.
Yeah.
Not that they're happy that she passed.
Or Jamaica.
Or Jamaica, obviously. But I'm just saying that, you could hear that people already protesting.
Happy for the change. Happy for what this means.
What's to come.
And the progression that it's going to start.
She was 96. She lived for 70 years as a queen. What are you somber about? What are you sad about?
LGBT, it's too soon, I think, for me to,
use that joke later, Al.
Yeah, to make observations even about this story and her support of LGBT. The Queen could have done a lot 50 years ago. 40 years ago. The Stonewall riots happened and the movement of LGBT. She could have done a lot to turn around what the Caribbean still faces. The Caribbean's attitude in the Caribbean is British attitude.
Yes,
it is colonialization that still exists. And the UK moved on. But the UK didn't do anything to help make sure that the Caribbean and other colony states moved on. So the Queen and the UK has large, heavy hands on the UK. And for me personally, and I will say it, and there's so little being said about it, I have a little trouble forgiving over who would have been queen, which is Princess Diana. And
that's right.
And how Diana was handled before by the new king of England, and how it was handled by the Queen Mum after she died. I'm not sure I'll ever get over.
Have you seen the new documentary of Diana?
Yes.
I love how they start off with basement life, fly life. Oh, it's so.
But she didn't want to go on air and say when Princess Diana died, right? They ended up having to force her.
The whole process of the Queen is not the royal. I am the royal. And and the monarchy came very close. The closest that Dino would have been satisfied to end the monarchy was over how the Queen responded.
Right, and he may be paying now the price for that because 25 years later, right? Is coming time.
We don't know that yet. It's interesting because
it may be.
It very well may be.
We don't know.
Well, this conversation Wednesday is going to be good.
We'll see what happens.
Yep.
I don't know which side of the bed they're going to get out of. We'll see. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.